Good morning, ladies and gents. Today I want to go over how exactly to use a final offer to convert more leads for your home care agency. Okay, and pretty much what you could expect from this video is what is a final offer, why would you want to use one, when to use it, and who you should offer it to, because you're not supposed to offer this to everybody, and how to make your offer and implement it for your agency. Now, who am I? Okay, my name is Elias Benedith, and I help home care agencies get more clients, manage leads better, and convert them, as well as increase revenue and increase your bottom line. Okay, so now let's get into what exactly is a final offer. Now, a final offer is used to help convert indecisive but qualified leads by offering them something extra. Okay, and this works as a tipping point that helps them, pretty much decide to go ahead and sign up. Now, why a final offer works. Okay, a final offer can help make your services feel more valuable and show that you're willing to go the extra mile for their business, right? Because at the end of the day, there's long-term gains, right? Remember, the goal is not an immediate sign up and an immediate profit off the client, but rather securing a long-term patient relationship that will yield that profit over time. Okay. And when a final offer works best is when you're being selective with your offer. Again, I mentioned earlier that not every lead should receive a final offer. Okay. It's best to reserve for those who've shown genuine interest and are likely to benefit from your services in the long term, right? These are clients that, are not just window shopping or, to be frank, if you are working with private pay clients, people that aren't going to be able to afford it long term. So you need to make sure that this offer that you're giving to people are people that, are kind of on the fence about it, but at the same time, they just, they need a little incentive to go ahead and get started. Because once they get started, you have to trust in your own quality of service that they will stay long term. All right, another factor of when this offer works best is when you're balancing the cost and benefits. It's important to consider how aggressive and how many of these offers you can give, right? Because, especially if you're a much bigger agency, you can't just be giving this offer so much because sometimes it might cost you upfront, right? You might take a loss maybe on the first month or you might break even, right? So, but again, the lifetime value of a committed client, somebody who's going to stay with you long term, we're talking anywhere 3 to 6 months plus, will make it worthwhile for sure. And so let's talk about how to use a final offer. So first things first, I need to address the elephant in the room. We need to make sure we're complying with regulations. These offers need to be crafted around your state's requirements and regulations. So a tip for you is to look into anti-kickback statutes. Okay, this is going to be a federal ruling that pretty much gives guidelines on when it comes to Medicaid, Medicare, so kind of state-funded patients, what exactly you could expect, and then versus private pay, right? Now, some states are more strict than others, and they can vary if you're targeting private pay versus state-funded patients, right? And then again, so that anti-kickback statute that mainly applies to the state-funded patients. Now, I would say a general rule of thumb, again, when you're offering any form of incentive, whether it's a gift or a discount, ensure that it's modest and not directly tied to a referral. Okay, so meaning that you're not giving it to somebody for a referral or the expectation of future business, meaning that a patient isn't going to sign up because you're offering them this. They're not going to re-sign up again due to this discount or gift that you're offering them. Okay, so kind of those two things to take into consideration. Now, when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries, based off some of the anti-kickback statutes, aim to keep the gifts or discounts below $15 per instance, right, per gift, or under $75 annually per person. Now, again, there's going to be some states that kind of make this ruling, this anti-kickback, since it is federal, so it applies to all states. But there are some states that make it a little bit more stricter and a little bit more looser. So look into that when it comes to Medicaid as well as private pay, right? So make sure you keep the incentives below $35 and avoid cash or gift cards is a good practice, right? Again, it can vary based off state. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But just make sure always consulting some, for state-specific laws as they can vary. Now, when it comes to creating the offer, it can come in many forms. Okay, so for example, it could be a sign-up bonus. So, hey, if you sign up with us, let's say this week or these 2 weeks, we're running this offer. You'll go ahead and get 4 hours of respite care, 4 hours of in-home care included, right? For if you sign up for X amount of hours. So if you sign up for 20 amount of hours a week, 30 hours a week, whatever it is, right? There's also discounts on the first month. So to say, hey, in your first month, we'll give you 10% off all the hours you decide to go ahead and work with us, right? Or on top of that, an offer could be a bundled service package. This is going to be great. Okay, so this could be like, hey, so let's say for your first month, we'll go ahead and include transportation. Okay, or you could also do a small gift. But the gift is something, again, gift and discounts, you're going to definitely have to consult state-specific laws to make sure that you are within regulation. Now, when it comes to implementing the offer, okay, now there are some practices to it. Now, because this person isn't a client, they're just qualified leads in this case, right? They're indecisive. You want to send this out via text or email and make sure you're making it personable. Let them know that this is an exclusive deal just for them. And so it could look something like this, right? So let's say here, this is a testing account I have for our clients that use our software. It's called Client Care. Comes included as part of our service of what we do here. And so, typically they'll import their list of leads that they've had that haven't signed up yet. And what we'll have them do is we'll have them organize a list of people that they feel like, are these indecisive people that are qualified, right? And so they'll usually have a tag right here, as you can see, labeled 10% offer. So they qualify for that offer. So what happens is we'll go ahead and organize it. We'll send these out to them, right? So let's say, for example, we have this person here, John Smith. We'll select him, right? And we want to go ahead and send a text. Now, when I said make it personable, this is exactly what I mean, right? So you want to do something like, hi, and you want to use their first name. So the system will automatically recognize this as their first name. So to say, hi, John, here, or I say, if you're still looking for home care services, okay, we're currently running an offer here at let's say Caring Hearts Home Care. Okay, I'll make up a home care agency. We'll say an offer could be four bonus hours if you sign up with us this week, right? You can say something like that. You essentially want to put the offer, you want to put the service. So let's say that would be for respite care, for in-home care, for transportation, whatever it is. And then give it a timeline, give it a deadline, right? Because it's important that you want them to act on it with urgency, right? And that there is a limited amount of time for this offer. If you're interested, we'd love to talk about your care needs. Thanks. Let's say, right? And so, there's different ways and different variations you can do of this. And so, the way you want this to work, okay, especially when you're sending it, you want to be able to understand, hey, when did I send this and why did I send it? So for example, here we'll name this 10% offer. So when you do look back on it, you say, okay, I remember I did this 10% offer. Let's say you did this in October, or let's say you did this for the first quarter, or because we're currently right now in the fourth quarter. And so you can send this at a scheduled time. So obviously you'd have more than just one person here. You maybe have 50, 100, 500, doesn't matter. You can send this at a scheduled time. So you can send this, let's say, starting tomorrow all at once, let's say at 9 a.m., right? Or what you can do here is you can send it in drip mode. And what this pretty much means is you're going to send it a certain amount of messages within a certain amount of time, within certain days. So let's say, for example, again, we can do it tomorrow at 9 a.m. And let's say we want to send one message, right, every minute, right? So one message every minute. And we only want to do this on the weekdays, right? So Monday through Friday. And of course, if you have a long list, let's say of 1,000 people, you could imagine this is going to take a while. So you want to make sure you restrict it to certain times, right? You don't want this to run overnight. So let's say you have it from 9 a.m. all the way to, let's say, 5 p.m. Okay. That way, once the clock strikes 5:01, what happens is it won't stop sending messages and it'll restart the next following day, right? That it is available. And then you go ahead and click send SMS. And this way, again, you're able to make it personable as well as, kind of send it over to everybody and do this where you don't really want to have to be typing in and sending text to a whole bunch of different people. Okay, now let's see where we were. Right here, right? So make sure you're sending it out. You can also do this via email as well, and make sure you make it personable. Now, another thing, okay, is you want to avoid over promising. Make sure you're honest about the actual value of the offer, right? You don't want to say like, hey, we're going to give you the first month for free, right? Or, something along those lines, just both from a finance point as well as you don't want to make it sound too good to be true, right? As it can hurt how effective the final offer works. Lastly, make sure you're following up, okay? Because people will have questions when you do send this out, especially you have a list of 500, let's say a list of 500 leads, right? Let's say around 100 of them, right, have valid numbers, are qualified, and want to learn more, right? You pretty much want to make sure you dedicate somebody, whether somebody this is yourself or somebody from your office, to check in on these responses at least twice a day for 30 minutes. Okay, so they're going to spend about an hour. That's split between 30 minutes. You can do it once in the afternoon and then once in the evening before they clock out. And make sure they're following up with people that are interested. Now, finally, of course, if you're interested in learning how we can implement this and other process and systems meant to get you more leads, more clients, and increase your bottom line, you can click on the link down below to speak to me or my team and see how we can go ahead and implement this for you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and comment down below. See if this worked for you. What was your experience like? Thanks.